Vince University got some new tools in. So we know that wireless edges are going crazy right now, and we need to get as many in as we can. And the biggest complaint about wireless edges has always been the transmitter and the receiver. And EMX has done a great job on their WEL-200, and that's this system right here, a transmitter and receiver. It's a pretty neat system. It allows for 4 transmitters to be programmed into one receiver, so you can have 4 edges, 4 wireless edges just out of this receiver, and 3 of these transmitters, or in this case 4, 3 in addition to this one. And we also got their new IRB-RET2 photo eye. It's been completely redesigned. I used to use this one forever as my class display. As you can see, I spent a lot of time and money and welding and all that stuff for that display, and they go ahead and change the design on me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm going to put that photo eye on the back right there. But anyways, it's a newer design that I like 99% of it. It is all built into one housing. It's got the hood reflector on it. It's got real easy visible alignment and power LEDs on the front. It's hard ABS plastic, or I say ABS, I'm not sure if it's ABS or not, but it's a hard plastic all the way around it. We do a lot of black stuff where in the business I work in, so it's going to match just fine. And I know a lot of people do black iron, so I think that's going to be a perfect fit, especially based on the feedback that the IRB-RET had. So you gotta love that. One of the cool things I like is they went from 3/4 to 1/2 inch on the little fitting down here, so it makes it a lot easier to install a smaller conduit. I used to always use 1/2 inch on the bottom of this photo eye, and then I would use a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch reducer, so it's going to save me quite a bit of expense to actually do that, so it's pretty neat. So we're excited to have the students use this here at the university. It's pretty simple installation. On the back, it's got everything that you would expect, but more importantly, it's compatible with every gate operator that there is out there for the most part. It does 2-wire, 4-wire, whatever the pulse, 300 and 600 pulse, whatever it is. And I pulled this edge out just so people could have an idea, students can understand what they're actually going to use during class. We're going to connect this transmitter to this edge. Just did it in a recent 5-day class. Relatively simple. You can connect the edge to the transmitter, and then you program the transmitter in like you would any other receiver. So it's pretty neat. Looks like our cover's on upside down. But the key with these that we teach all the kids in class is that you need to make sure that the installation is done properly, and that's getting this as high as you can. And if you're going to mount it to the back of something, make sure that you have the antenna higher than whatever you're mounting it to, because it helps in transmission and reception. So I gotta like that. And what I do is I like to tell students to put this at the top of the gate and this at the top of the guide post, and wham bam, you're done, or hinge post, depending upon what type of system that you're installing. We also got a new product that I haven't seen before. I'll take you over here to the display and show you a couple other things that they sent us for class, and you guys can come down and learn on. One of those systems is the CellOpener-365, and when I was talking to the guys over at EMX, I was like, man, it just seems like it's so hard to use, but it is absolutely 100% not hard to use. This device actually allows you to use your cell phone as a credential to... What I liked about it was that this actually turns your cell phone into a credential, which is really cool. I was like, well, then you got to program all the cell phones and all that stuff. So first of all, you can import the data via Excel spreadsheet, but more importantly, you can set this actually in a mode to where when you call into it, it automatically authorizes that phone number. And the cool thing about it is you're not buying like per credential or anything like that. Your cell phone doesn't need to download any software or anything like that. So this is a pretty unique item. and I think we're going to hook it up to, or don't think, I know we're going to hook it up to one of the gate operators, and we'll program it during class. So the other thing, and this is just the standard go-to, they know that I love these. They know that I love these loop detectors. This is my favorite loop detector, so they were kind enough to send one of these to us. The reason why I like this loop detector is because it's multi-voltage, low current draw, so that means it's good for solar applications, and it's reliable. Relatively basic loop detector. I have to have a loop detector with a frequency counter. If you don't have a loop detector that has a frequency counter, the problem is you don't know if your loops are cross-talking, my words, with each other, meaning that the one loop is picking up the other because it's on the same frequency. And with a frequency counter, you can make sure that they're 10,000 hertz away from each other approximately, give or take. So the standard pin configuration for the power and relays and all that good stuff, which is another important thing about this. So if you're doing barrier arms, you've got to have this loop detector because you can use one loop, your closed loop, as a reverse and a closed loop. So it's kind of nice to have two relays, one loop detector, technically two different functions, which in general, we always say one loop detector for one function, but in this particular case, to use this loop detector, you can actually have, if you will, one loop and two functions. So a close and a reverse for the swinger slide that the barrier arm's connected to. So anyways, EMX, we appreciate it. We know you got some exciting RFID stuff coming out and some new products, but thank you for building the reliable ones. I really love it. And you guys will be happy to know that this is the only wireless edge that we programmed during class. So it was super neat to look at, and it was so basic to install. If you've ever installed a transmitter receiver for a garage remote, that's exactly what this bad boy does. So EMX, we appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the Finch University, and we'll get these edges installed on some gates.